for the farmer's market. So I'm kind of excited about that. So let me get this shared a few places and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Them this board that I'm going to show you. Here it is. I don't even know the dimensions of this board. This is just how big it is. And so part of our Christmas gift is the girls got to do this board and we did it together, and I let them pick out their design and they decided to do Christmas. Snowflakes was one and a manger scene was the other, and they were just too cute. And so our goal, because Couture, you can actually wash it down and start from scratch. Our goal now for my daughter-in-laws and I is to get together once a season and change their board. This is the cutest, and it's such a large, like here's the 3-ounce jar, just to kind of give you a look to see the size. This is how big this is. It is quite large. So just to kind of give you an idea of what a big... So what we're going to do now is we're going to open the transfer. And if I miss over one of your comments, I promise I will get back to them at the end and review them and answer any way I can. So I'm opening the transfer. And this is the first time that I've ever used this transfer because it is brand new to me. I've had this one for quite a while and just really waiting for the opportunity to work on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the transfer up and carefully not allowing it to stick to anything else. And I think I already allowed it to stick to itself. So good, we get to do some troubleshooting together. So very carefully, I'm going to remove this so that I'm not stretching out the transfer. They're very, very sticky when you first take them off. Trying to keep my table nice and clean. But we're just going to put this over the towel, and this is called fuzzing. And that allows the things from the towel to kind of stick to your transfer so that it's not super sticky to the board. Okay. And then since this is such a large transfer, we're going to talk about how to do areas without allowing the chalk to dry out. So we're going to do areas at a time. And right now I'm actually is on the back of this Couture board. It's already got a hanger on the, if you want to hang it long ways. And then it also has a hanger up here if you want to hang it diagonal. So we're going to do a long board because I know where I want to put this. Okay. And you're not going to get to see my whole area, which makes me really sad. I really got to get this camera thing worked out. Those fisheyes would come in real handy right now, wouldn't they? Charity. Okay, so because this board is so large, I'm going to have a good area to work with. But what I'm going to do is try to center it here on my board. So I have the same amount of space at the top as I do down here at the bottom. Okay, and then when I have it where I want it, I'm just going to take a few minutes and press that down. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is just do the wording at the very top. Okay, because the chalk dries so quickly. Let me finish. Okay, so that's kind of a problem. So we don't want to do that. So I have my paste here. I have my spatulas. I have my little spatulas for working in the smaller areas. And then I have my special spatula for helping me to mix things, right? So historic downtown, I'm going to do that in my favorite of all colors, the teal color. And my rooster, he's going to have some teal in him as well. So if you guys have any ideas on colors or what you would like to see here, feel free to let me know. So I'm just going to mix up my paste. Remember, we want like a yogurt-like consistency. If your paste ever dries out, it's really no big deal. All you're going to do is spritz a little bit of water in there, and then it will get that mixed up really nicely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little bit down here in this area, and then I'm gonna go back, put any excess back in my jar, and then I'm gonna go back with my spatula to make sure that I'm getting it all into that area. Okay. Perfect. And then again, I'm gonna do Historic Downtown. I just love this. This is so relaxing to me. Everybody on all the sites that I follow, they're already starting on their Valentine's. I'm like, girl, let us just get over some Christmas and New Year's, would ya? Would you just slow it down a little bit, please? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, because I do want to allow that to not dry, is I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna pull it up right where that is so that we can go ahead and take a peek there. Look at that, Historic Downtown. And then I'm just gonna lay that down while I'm allowing that to dry. Now at this point, I could pull out my heat gun and dry that. But since this is such a big transfer, I'm going to allow that to air dry while I come down here and work on the bottom. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the bottom, which is the Farm Fresh Produce. And I'm gonna do that one in white because I want that to pop, right? Because the older signs, they didn't have a lot of different colors to them. But I'm gonna do the Farm Fresh Produce in white. So again, I'm gonna mix it. I have cleaned off my tools because we don't want to cross transfer color. That would make the white not very pretty. My white is starting to dry, so it's close to needing some water, but not quite yet. And like all of this hard over here, when I spritz that with water, it will actually become paste again. So that's the awesome thing too about Chalk Couture. So I'm just gonna take that and then I'm gonna run it across. Get me just a little bit more. And then wipe the excess back in the jar. And then we're ready. And I like to go like side to side and then come back and fill it in. That way, because this is really, there's a mesh in here. So it's not like your old standby stencils, because this actually has a mesh in it. So then we are able to actually get in the grooves and really put some texture in there. And this is going to be a real distressed look. You'll be able to see it a little bit better whenever I pull it off here. But it's going to give it a nice distressed look because it's not a total finished letter. Which is really neat because it's going to make it look older, which I really like that too. Okay, so we're going to do that really quickly before we pull it up. Every weekend since 1926. And no, for any of you that are asking, I was not born in 1926. I am one of the oldest people in the store that I work in, and so they're always cracking old person jokes to me. And I'm like, okay guys, it's not funny anymore. Yes, I know I'm older than you. Some of my kids are older than you, but that's okay. You gotta have a good mix. All right, so let's, dun, 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 dun. Look at that. I love it. Every weekend since 1926. Can you see that? Yeah, I know. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. It's gonna sit there and dry for a little bit. Okay, so we got some farm fresh produce. And this chicken, he's gonna be, or rooster, I'm sorry, he's gonna be so fun. So historic downtown is already dry. And then on the farmer's market, I'm gonna let this fresh produce dry over here a little bit. Did anybody see the, so I wanna see if this, yeah, see that is dry already. This chalk dries so super fast. Another thing that we have available is the designer kits, and they are, it's $99 and you get $228 worth of stuff. And like me, the main reason that I did it is because I wanted to get everything at 40% off. So, you know, and if I can show this to a couple of my friends, that just helps support the habit, right? But you get several chalks, you get some surfaces to work on, you get all kinds of great stuff. So right now I'm just making sure that everything is pressed down so that I can start working on my big bad rooster right here. I've got something that so for $99 you get your designer kit. There's no obligation. You only have to purchase $150 worth of stuff every 3 months. So that's no problem, right? But you do get all of your supplies. Everything is 40% off. Okay. So this farmer's market, I do want to do that white, but I think I want to do the rooster first. So let me get my colors together, then I'm going to do the rooster. I know I'm going to use some red. I'm going to use some teal. I'm just a country girl at heart. I can't help it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Oh, I can't wait to get this board done. I have been waiting for so long to do this board, let me tell you. So I know his comb is going to be red, right? Definitely going to have a red comb on him. And then I'm going to come in with some red. Now I'm not going to do a whole bunch of it right now because I just want to get some colors laid out because this chalk does dry really quickly. So there's that. And then I know I want some yellow on him. Mix that up. I'll come in here and put some yellow. Very bright colored in the front. Because he's a man. He's got to show off his colors, right? That's what men do. Definitely gonna have some blue in him. So I'll come in here and mix this up. Throw some blue in. Definitely. Yes, yes. What other color? For the Tootsies. He's gonna be beautiful. Definitely want some orange back here on these feathers. Oh, he's gonna be gorgeous. I mean, who else gets excited about a rooster like I do, right? All right, here we go. I think I'm gonna throw some white on him too. Let's do that. A little bit of white. All right, so now I'm gonna just start pulling him down. Absolutely. So what's gonna happen when I pull this up, all these colors are gonna be blended just like a real rooster. Because depending on how you look at him in the light is what he's gonna look like. Oh, yes. And it's kind of hard to imagine if you can't think about what it's gonna look like. I think I need some more of this right here. And then we'll just keep on spreading. The only issue is we have to work a little faster than we normally would because the chalk does dry fairly fast. And we don't want it to dry before we pull this transfer off, right? Because what will happen is that chalk will come up. But guess what? No worries. If we get it into a situation and we don't like the outcome, guess what? That's right. You just pull it off and start all over, which is my favorite part about chalk couture. There is like no stress. And girls, don't we all need a little less stress in our lives? I mean, seriously. Nothing permanent here. I'm going to put just a little dab of red back up in here. Oh, I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. I mean, right now it just looks like a hot mess. Go ahead. You can say it. Hot mess express. Okay. So now I'm just making sure that I've got all those areas covered. I'm going to come down here and do the feet really quickly. Rooster feet are always dirty because they're always walking around looking for something to eat, digging around, kicking up leaves, kicking up rocks, seeing what they can uncover. All right, the moment of truth. Here we go. Come on, pretty rooster. Look at you. Look at you, pretty rooster. Wow. Just wow. I'm in love. Look at that. I mean, isn't it just gorgeous? How all those colors just kind of blend together. It sure did not look like that when it was down, did it? So I've got a little bit right here at the top, and all I gotta do is wet that and it comes right up. I can go back and clean. This is where my finger touched it and it was wet. I'm loving it. That was fun. So the only thing, I'm gonna go ahead and take this camera off. Bear with me. So let's see if I can pull this back more. So this is gonna be for myself. I am not going to seal this so that I can change this board. But you know, roosters, we're getting ready for spring. Gosh, I hope. Okay, to you know, show how these colors work and what they can do. I mean, he's just a gorgeous little rooster. I just love it. It's just so much fun. So what do you guys think? I mean, this detail, I can't get over this detail that we have in the transfer. And this board is so huge and everything is so pretty and it just came out looking so professional.